Hello, ladies. How are you? Good evening. It's a little late tonight. If you're hopping on and catching the replay, say hi so that I know who's there. You know, I like to see who's watching and be able to just say hi to you. So, like I said in the video, if you're catching the replay, grab a cup of tea, come join me. I'm hoping that this will just be like a nice, casual little chit chat tonight. I already have a list of questions that I'm going to answer, but if as I'm talking you have more questions that come up, feel free to type them into the comments and I'll be happy to get to them and answer them for you. So tonight is just a Q&A. I'm going to be answering questions that you've been asking me throughout the week, either about self-care, about stress relief, about my coaching program, Self-Care Queen, just things that have come up, you know. Most of the questions are pretty common, so they're things that I see like are patterns that a lot of people, like we're all struggling with the same things, right? So I'm just going to go through and just answer everything so that, you know, we could all be on the same page. And I hope that this helps you. So, let me take a sip of tea. I have my favorite mug. My husband and I went to one of those like paint your own pottery places to celebrate our third dating anniversary. God, it was 7 years ago now, but we made these mugs and it always like reminds me of that time and makes me happy when I drink out of this mug. Do you have a favorite mug? If you're watching, let me know what your favorite mug is. Totally off topic, but I'm really into drinking tea and special mugs, so I would love to know what your favorite mug is. But I'm going to do a little recap of, tonight is the last night of the training, so I'm going to do a little recap of what we've been talking about so far in case you didn't catch all the videos so that you know where we're at. So on the first video, I shared about what self-care really means to me and what this whole idea of self-care for stress relief really is, why self-care is the number one best thing that you could be doing for yourself to just keep your anxiety at bay and to keep stress and anxiety from consuming your life. So I just shared a little bit about how self-care is less about just taking a spa day, you know, once a month or once every several months. It's more about taking a few minutes here and there every single day, though, consistently, daily, to just keep your stress level down. And I promise you that if you start doing this, if you start taking moments of self-care throughout your day, every day, you will start to feel a difference over time. So that was day one. And then in day two, I shared the 6 keys to a happy and healthy life, happy, healthy, and peaceful life. And the 6 keys were developing a spiritual connection of your own understanding. That was number 1. Number 2 was learning to love yourself for all of your unique qualities, including all of your flaws, and just really starting to just embrace all of who you are. The third one was to create healthy relationships and find a solid support system, because, you know, we can't do this alone, right? And then the fourth one was body love, just starting to really take good care of your body and nourish yourself well and treat your body well. That was number 4. Then number 5 was to look at your home environment and really start making that just like your happy place, your sanctuary, a place where you just love to come home and unwind at the end of the day. And then number 6 was to really recognize that you are in charge of your life, you are in control of your life, and you are responsible for creating the life that you want to be living. So those were the 6 keys to a happy and peaceful life. And then the third day I talked about asking for help and receiving support, and I gave you all a 3-step process to receiving the support that you desire in your life. And the 3 steps were, number 1, realize where in your life you are already very supported. Number 2 was to recognize the areas of life where you are feeling a little frazzled and stressed out and maybe you need a little bit of help. And then number 3 was to recognize exactly what kind of help you need and ask for help and be specific about the type of help that you desire. So that was, all about asking for help and support. I think that's like really important. And then last night I talked about the importance of sharing our stories, sharing our struggles, sharing our challenges, and not like ending this like thing that we all have where we think that we have to show up and be happy every single day of our lives, or we have to just put on like a good face and not let anyone know when we're suffering. I've really encouraged you all to just put an end to that and start sharing your stories, start sharing what you've been through, and start just, being brave and sharing when you're having a bad day, when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling down. And I promise you, people will respond supportively, and you'll be surprised that by you sharing, you start to feel more connected to the people around you, and also you give other people permission to share how they're feeling, right? So it just starts this really positive wave of all of us being honest about where we're at in our lives. And I also shared my own personal story about my history of anxiety and depression, and just like how I was at a very low point in my life and how I healed myself and got myself out of that. So that was our 4 days of training so far. And the one thing that I do want to add to the video that I made last night about sharing our stories and sharing our truth is that, I talked about like when I was at rock bottom, right? But you don't have to be at rock bottom like I was to ask for help, right? In fact, I hope that you're not at rock bottom. I hope that as you're watching this video, maybe you're in a place where you're realizing that you've really just been focusing a lot of your energy on everybody around you, and you've started to lose track of who you are, and you don't even know who you are anymore, and you're just feeling, out of touch with your own desires and your own wants and your own needs. So maybe that's where you're at. Or, hi, I see that somebody joined me. Just say hi as you hop on. So maybe you're watching and you're not at rock bottom, but maybe you're just realizing that you've lost touch with yourself. Or maybe you're realizing that you're just feeling really overwhelmed and unhappy in your life. Or you're realizing that you're feeling unsupported and you don't have like a good support system around you. Or you're realizing that, you're just like a little stressed out and overwhelmed. And you know that you could be living a better life, but you don't know really what to do to change things. So if any of these things describe you, like, don't wait until things spiral out of control like they did for me in my story that I shared last night. Just ask for help now. Like, now is the time to ask for help before it continues to get worse. Now is the time to start talking about how you're feeling, and now is the time to seek support, because that's going to prevent you from just like spiraling out of control and being like a little bundle of nerves and just letting this anxiety consume your life by just holding it all in and trying to keep it all together when you're really not feeling that great. So if you're struggling even just a little bit, like, now is the time to talk about it. So I hope that like this really encourages you to just start being honest and showing up for life with an honest face and sharing how you're feeling. So tonight I'm going to just answer some questions that I've been getting from all of you. So the number one question that I've been getting is, Ambar, like, it's really great that you're so focused on self-care and that you take all this time for yourself, but I don't have time for that, right? Like, how do you do it? How do you make the time for self-care? This is the number one struggle that most women face, is how do I make the time for this? And my hope is that by watching this training, you're starting to see that it doesn't take so much time to take care of yourself, right? You've started to notice that it's not about spending hours on self-care. It's about spending moments like of every day, spending as much time as you can every day, but like, it doesn't have to be all at once. Just space it all out throughout the day so that you have all these moments like where you're like taking mindful moments and just taking a pause from whatever's going on around you and just like connecting back in with yourself and stopping to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath with me right now. Doesn't that feel good? Like, that's like the simplest way to take care of yourself. So I'm hoping that you're starting to see that self-care is not that complicated. And I want to encourage you to start small with adding self-care into your life. Start by taking a few minutes every day. So that's how I started. When I started incorporating self-care into my life, I started by doing 10 minutes of yoga every morning. That's it. That's all I did for myself, right? And over time, that 10 minutes really made a big difference. And I'm not saying that doing 10 minutes of yoga for one day is going to make this drastic difference in your life. But if you start doing, 10 minutes of yoga every morning for a week, for 2 weeks, for a month, for 2 months, for 3 months, like that's gonna accumulate and it's gonna lower your baseline stress level. And over time, you're gonna notice like, wow, I love my morning routine and I feel so relaxed the rest of the day because I've been taking this consistent 10 minutes every day to do a little yoga. And for you, it doesn't have to be yoga. It could be it doesn't even have to be 10 minutes. Start with 5 minutes if that's all you have. Take 5 minutes to just sit and read and drink your coffee in peace in the morning, or go for a walk on your lunch break, or take a bath every night. Just see where in your day you could fit in even 5 minutes of self-care time and start there. Don't feel like you have to do it all at once, right? Start small, start with a few minutes, add it into your life, and then, you can work up from there. So that's the first thing I have to say about making the time for it is just start small, start with just a few minutes. And then the second thing that I want to say is that it's not like any of us have like this extra time for self-care, right? It's not like we could hit pause on our life, add in a couple hours so that we could get now self-care time, right? It's not like we have like this life calendar where it says like 7 to 8 a.m. self-care time. It's not like someone pops into your life every day at lunch and says, time to take a self-care break, right? You could program your phone to say that, but like, it's not like anyone's going to give you this time. No one's going to come waving a white flag when they see that you're stressed out and say, start taking care of yourself, time for self-care. Like, no one's going to give you permission to take care of yourself. You have to make the time. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. That meme that says like you have the same 24 hours in the day as Beyonce. Like, it's true though, like you make time for the things that are important to you. And if you're realizing that there's something to what I'm saying, and you realize that you have not been taking care of yourself, and you realize that you're taking care of everyone else around you and you're at the bottom of your priority list, like I really encourage you to start making a change and start bumping yourself up because you deserve this and you need this, and like it doesn't take that long. So just start making a little bit of time for it. And if you do that consistently, I promise you things will start to change and you'll notice that, it is possible to make the time for it if it's something that matters to you. So that was the first question. And, let me know if this resonates with you. Are you having trouble fitting self-care into your life? Let me know what your struggle is with making time for it, and I'll be happy to give you some suggestions. Then the second question that a lot of us face is, I feel guilty about taking care of myself. I feel guilty about taking that time for myself. And this is very common. I notice this a lot especially with us moms. And, I'm not going to lie, this happens to me too. I think there's something that happens when you become a mother that it's like this little switch goes off and you start to think that every spare moment of free time that you have needs to be devoted to your child. Right? You think like you have these little beings that are reliant on you and need you. And if you have 5 minutes, those 5 minutes need to go to your kids. But what happens is, if that's what you're doing, if you're spending every single moment of free time that you have on your kids, you can start to feel really overwhelmed and anxious because kids take a lot of energy, right? How many of you have noticed, like, if your kids are on spring break, or if maybe you're home most of the time with your little ones, but so many moms, myself included, when our kids are home for like a week straight and you're like momming it 24/7, chances are you are like counting down the days until school goes back in session so that you could all get back in a routine, right? And you could have a little bit of time back to yourself. And maybe this doesn't happen to everybody, but I know, like I'm a stay-at-home mom and I still bring my daughter to daycare a couple days a week because it's too much. It's too much. They require a lot of us. They're these kids are needy, and like we love our kids, and I'm not saying don't spend time with your kids, of course not, but it's just, you have to be taking care of yourself too. And I would even say you have to be taking care of yourself first. And it's just like, and it's not just for moms either, but I have noticed that this theme of guilt comes in with all of us that like just by nature are more of a caretaker, or we have just like that spirit where we just like to really help everybody and be givers and just really just help everyone around us, right? And then we feel guilty helping ourselves. But just like when you're on a plane, right, and they tell you to put your oxygen mask on first even before you help your kid, like that applies to your life too. And the reason for that is if you don't put your oxygen mask on first, like you're not going to be able to help your kid and keep them alive because you're dying, right? And like that's a little dramatic, but that's what happens when you give all your energy to trying to help the people around you when you are not filled up yourself, is you feel like you're dying a little bit inside because you are just giving away so much energy that it gets to a point where you have nothing left to give. So I'm just encouraging you to, if you start feeling guilty, that's a normal part of this process. It's normal to feel guilty. It just means that, like you have a big heart and you want to help people, but just really start to recognize that if you want to be of service to your family, to your community, to the people around you, you are of better service to them once you are taking care of yourself first. So I hope that you really start to believe that. And I mean, let me tell you, like, I still get guilty too. I do have that thing where I feel like I should be spending most of my time with June, right? And sometimes like an example, like last week on Sunday, I had a very busy, couple weeks. I hadn't been around my family that much because I had other things that I was taking care of. And then on Sunday, my friend invited me out to go out to lunch. And I knew that like this would be, fun for me and it would be nice to have this outing, but I felt guilty. I felt like, oh, I finally have a day where I should just be hanging out with Angelo and June, right? But I had made this commitment to my friends, so I still went anyway. And you know what happens is that like it's nice to have that time for yourself, because that time with my girlfriend just helped me to reconnect to the part of me that is not just a mom and not just a wife, but like it just gave me space to just be me, right? For an afternoon. And it was just energizing and fun. And then what happened was then I came home and I was excited to hang out with my daughter, and I was happier to, get back into that mom mode. And that's because I had taken the time to do something for myself. So that's the thing too, is that if we take the time to do the things that are fun to us, do the things that feel good to us, then we have like better energy when we're, when it's time to come back and step into, whatever our various roles are in life or whatever our responsibilities are. And then we're better to give like good, positive energy and just be more in it and be more excited about hanging out with our kids or, whatever it is that you feel guilty about. So I encourage you to, if you are one of these people that feel guilty taking time for yourself, really just push through, do it anyway. And I will say that over time, once you start making self-care time a habit, it does get a little bit easier to start breaking away a little bit and taking that time. Okay? So let me know in the comments below if you're watching the replay. Just let me know, are you a mom? Do you get mom guilt? Even if you're not a mom, do you feel guilty taking time for yourself? And what is it that makes you feel guilty about it? Do you think that you don't deserve the time? Do you feel like there's other people that need the time more than you? Like, what is it that makes you feel guilty? I'd love to just talk about that for a little bit. So let me know in the comments. Okay. Okay, ladies. So those were the questions that I had just about, self-care and making time for self-care and not feeling guilty about self-care. And I think, a lot of you are starting to realize that it is important to take the time for yourself, and how just making that consistent daily time for self-care will over time start to lower that baseline stress level that we talked about, so that when life throws you a curveball, you're more capable of managing that. So that brings me to my next question. that I got. And this was a question that I've been getting from several women who were asking about my coaching program, Self-Care Queen. And as you know, I've been sharing a little bit about the program. It's really an in-depth 6-month-long coaching program for women who are really recognizing that they need help learning how to incorporate self-care in their lives. They want to stop feeling guilty about it. They need to start making the time for it, and they really want to make this a priority, right? Some of the women joining are just, starting to feel a little out of touch with themselves, or maybe they've been, really into the mom role and really want to focus a little bit more on nurturing themselves and what's important to them. People who are struggling with managing stress and anxiety, if you are just feeling a little off in life and just feeling unhappy and overwhelmed, and you want like a proven plan to start getting you to focus on the right things that you need to focus on, to start, getting back in tune with who you are and creating space for yourself and your own needs and your own desires and your own well-being, then like this is the type of person that this program is for just women who are ready to step up and say, like, I'm ready to reclaim my life. So anyway, the question that I've been getting a lot is like, I want to join the program, but I have like this difficult, challenging life circumstance right now. So maybe you're interested in signing up for a program like this, but like life is chaotic right now. So maybe like I want to start taking time for myself, but I'm really busy with my kids right now, or this is my busy season at work, or I'm going to be moving next month. And just, like all these things, or like someone's sick in my family, just like all of these reasons why now does not seem like the right time to focus on yourself. And if that's you, what I want to tell you is that there's never going to be a perfect time to invest in your own well-being, right? Like the perfect time is now. If you start waiting until circumstances are just easygoing for a long stretch, until you have like this magical time that opens up to you, if you're just waiting until your kids grow up, or until this happens, or until if you're just waiting, your chances are you're going to be waiting for a long time, because that's not how life works. And that's why I created this program. I did not create this program necessarily for someone whose life is just, smooth sailing and they have no struggles right now and everything is just like so easy, right? And if your life was so easy and smooth and you had really no issues right now, you probably wouldn't be watching a training about self-care for stress relief, right? We wouldn't be here together right now. So no one's life is ever, there's periods, of course, where things are going smoother than others. But I created this program for the person who is going through a challenging time, because what this program is going to do is it's going to teach you the tools that you need to better handle these challenging life circumstances. It's going to teach you what to do to bring your stress level down. It's going to teach you, meditations that you can do. It's going to teach you, how to bring your focus back to yourself, how to not get so like riled up by everything that's going on around you. And it's going to help you just create a feeling of inner peace and inner calm that you can take with you into these challenging, difficult, busy life circumstances. So if you're somebody who's been thinking like, I would love to do something like this, I would love to take the time for myself, I would love to be in this group of women, but this is going on in my life, like I encourage you to rethink it. I've created the program in a way where it's not going to be like another thing to add on to your to-do list. Like, yeah, you need to be able to make a little bit of time for it, but I've really structured it in a way where like the homework assignments that I give you, the action steps, the tools, there are things that you can add into your life as it currently exists. It's not something that you're going to need to, spend hours of your life doing this work. I've taught you it's all about like using simple tools and simple techniques that you can bring into your regular daily life. So it's meant to be incorporated into your life regardless of what's going on around you. So I just wanted to make sure that you know that this program And I promise you that the other women in the program, and myself included, like our lives are not just like so easy and you're going to be the only one who's, having trouble because, your life is a little crazy right now, right? All of our lives are crazy. And it's just up to you to say, I'm going to find the calm in the crazy and I'm going to sign up for this program and I'm going to make this a priority. So that's my, I'm looking at my list of questions. So that's my answer to that question. So if you have a crazy life right now, let us support you. Let me be there for you. And, so somebody asked me, is there a way to try out the program and see that it's right for me? So what I've decided to do is I'm going to give you a 30-day money back guarantee on this program so that you could kind of just like come in, test the waters out and see if this is something that's helpful to you. So our program consists of every month I'm going to be teaching on a different topic, right? The first month is just starting to create that sacred spiritual practice, right? That's our first month together. And we have 3 parts to the program. The first part is a monthly meditation class. The second part is a group coaching call, which is a time to just connect with the other women in the program and just show up in a safe space, in a non-judgmental space, and just open up and just share who you are right now in this moment of time and know that you are safe and supported and we're going to welcome you with open arms exactly as you are. So kind of what I was talking about last night with sharing our stories. That's what we're going to do once a month in our group coaching calls. And then the third part of the program is a call with me, and it's just a time for us to go deeper into, what your goals are, what you're hoping to change in your life, and just giving you your very own action plan to get you to where you want to be 6 months from now. So those are the 3 parts of the program. And you can come in for the first month, which is going to be from January 15th until February 15th, basically. And you can try out the program, and if you decide that it's not for you before we start the second month, like I'll give you your money back, and that's fine, like if you decide that it's not for you. But what you do have to do during that month is show up to our 3 calls and show me that, you're investing your energy in this, and do the homework assignments that I give you. And if I see that you have tried, that you've been showing up and that you are doing the work and you still don't think that it's for you, like I will give you your money back and you're under no commitment to me, because I want everyone in this program to be like in it 100%. I want us to be lifting each other up and supporting each other, and I want us to be like all in to working this process. And I have a lot of confidence and a lot of faith in the program that I've created, and I know that if you start making these changes in your life and doing the work in this program, like your life is going to change, and you're gonna within the first month start feeling different. So you could come in and try it out for the month, and if you decide that it's not for you, you can bow out. No worries. Okay. So there's that, just so you know. And then let me see. Okay. Again, if you're watching and you have any questions, just type them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to either answer them afterwards or just come in and respond to your comment later on. So the last question that I got, or I guess the last hesitation that people have for signing up for a program such as this, is of course the financial piece, right? Like this is something that a lot of us, it's an issue. So what I have to say about this is that when you sign up for a program like this, you are not just investing in a program, right? It's not like you're paying this money just to get my program. Like, yeah, that's part of it, but you're investing in yourself. You're investing in your commitment to changing your life. You're investing and you're saying, I'm invested in myself. I'm ready to create a change. I realize that things aren't working in my life. I know it's time to do something different. I want guidance from this person who's been where I'm at, and I trust that she knows what she's doing and she's going to help me get to where I want to go. And like that's a big deal. It's a big deal to do something different than the way you've always done it. It's a big deal to say, like, I am worthy of investing in myself. But you are worth it. And if you've been watching these videos and listening to me talk, and you know that something is off in your life, and you know that like you're not feeling as happy as you could be, and you know that anxiety is getting the best of you, and you know that you've lost touch with yourself, and you know that like you need to figure out what to do different, like I encourage you to really try to invest in yourself and join us. Because what happens is, when you sign up for this program, you're going to have me like in your back pocket for the next 6 months. And I am going to give you like my unconditional love and support and guidance. And we're going to be meeting 3 times a month. So that's going to keep you accountable to taking action to work towards your goals. And if you feel like you're stuck, like we're going to work through that together. And you're going to have unlimited access to me. You're going to be able to message me or email me anytime that you're struggling, and I'm going to help you work through it so that, again, we could, start talking about what we're going through and not have to do it alone. And I'm going to be there for you every step of the way to changing your life and creating a happy and peaceful life over the next 6 months. And then the other thing that happens is, as soon as you sign up for this program, like I invest my faith in you. So if you invest in yourself, I invest in you. And I am going to hold you up to a vision of you as like the best, brightest, happiest, most peaceful, most calm, most serene, most patient, most loving person that you can be. And I'm going to envision you living 6 months from now your best life, a life like better than you could even imagine, right? And I'm going to hold this standard for you. And I'm going to hold space for that to become the truth. And that's really, honestly, it might sound a little woo, but that's a really powerful thing, to have someone that is coaching you and supporting you and sees you in your power and sees you as a queen and sees you as someone that's possible of creating massive change in your life. And I believe in you, right? So if you are ready to invest in yourself, I am fully ready to invest my time and my energy in you. So, it's really up to you, like the financial piece. And what I will say is that, I know that this is a big deal. And, I'm someone who has invested a lot at this point in myself. But I remember the first time that I ever invested in a program. It was in 2012, and I had just gotten married a few months ago. And at this point, I had done kind of a lot of self-development work at this point. And I was, doing my yoga and meditating and reading a lot of books. But I had taken maybe like $100 course here and there. But there was this course that I wanted to take, and it was an 8-week program, and it was $1,000. And back then, like, that was a lot of money for me to spend on myself. And I had never taken an in-depth program like that before. So I like wavered on this for a couple of days, and I was just like, like, do I do it? Do I not do it? But I kept feeling the pull. I kept feeling drawn to signing up for this program. So I ended up signing up for it. And I didn't want my husband to know about it. I was honestly a little embarrassed about it at the time, because like, who spends $1,000 on personal development? So I didn't tell him about it. I hid it from him, and I took money out of my savings to pay for it. But what happened was that just signing up for this program put me into this container of other women just like me, who were looking for answers, who were looking to create a better life. And I just started learning a lot of things that I started incorporating into my life. I started seeing myself as more powerful. I started doing more things to take better care of myself. I started really creating changes in my life as a result of taking this 8-week program. And so just having that positive experience made me see that, like, yeah, like this was worth it for me, right? And that was 5 years ago. And since then, I've invested in a lot of programs. I've invested in group programs. I've invested in private coaching program. And honestly, like, I've spent a decent amount of money at this point in my life on my journey on personal development. And I realize that it might sound a little silly, and it might sound a little like, oh my God, I can't believe she spent so much money on that, if you have never done this before. And what I'll tell you now is, like, my husband is the least, like, woo-woo person in the world. He's very like, give me the facts. This is the money we have. This is what we don't have. And he's just very like a by the book kind of person. He's not very like into like emotional, like what feels good. He's more about like, like cold hard facts. And what happens now is now when I want to sign up for a program, I don't hide it from him anymore. I run it by him. I tell him what it is. I tell him why I think this is going to help me and why I think that this is going to improve my life. And we make the decision. I mean, really, I make the decision, but like I want him to be okay with it because he is my partner. And like like at this point, like it's our money and, just so many things that go into it when you have a partner. So now at this point, when I tell him about a program that I want to join, most of the time, like he gives me his blessing. And the reason why is because usually when I want to sign up for something, it's because I'm aware that there's something that I need help with. And I know that it's going to take me twice as long to try to solve the problem by myself, right? I'm aware how much quicker things start to shift once you have the right supports in place, right? So, and my husband now, like from knowing me and from, he has no choice but to be along for the ride of my own personal development journey, that he now sees the value in it. So he knows that when I sign up for a program, and he knows that I'm going to be committed to my own well-being, and he knows that this is going to help me change, and he knows that this is going to help me become a better version of myself. And he knows that when I become a better version of myself, that helps me show up as a better wife. It helps me show up as a better mom. It helps me serve our family better, right? So like, it's not just an investment in just me, right? Like me being the best person I can be helps my whole family. So that's what helps him get on board, right? So I just wanted to share that with you because if you've been thinking about joining my program, but like the money's really just like, you've never spent money like this on yourself and it's holding you back. I've been there before and I completely understand. And I just want to tell you that like, if you're on the fence and that's what's holding you back, like take the leap. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. You deserve this. You really do. And I'm not just saying that because it's my program. Well, I mean, I'm kind of saying it because it's my program because I really believe in this program so much because I'm teaching you everything that I do in my own life to create a peaceful and happy life. But I'm also saying it because I, for myself, as a student, know the value of investing in yourself and working a program such as this. So I hope you see that I'm being like blatantly honest with you right now. So so I mean, that's really it. I really want to encourage you to invest in yourself and recognize that not just in my program, but if you're listening to me talk, if you've been watching these videos, if you listen to me get all passionate last night about talking about our struggles and our mental health issues, and if this sounds like something that could be beneficial to you or helpful to you, like please sign up. We start on Monday and enrollment closes on Sunday. So you have 2 days left to join us. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't like drive yourself crazy because that's another thing that could drive us crazy is when we're in a place of indecision and we don't know yes or no. I just want to say if this is something that you've been drawn to and you've been feeling the pull, like chances are like you're meant to be part of this. So just like decide now. And I mean, if it's not for you, I'm sure that you know already that it's not for you, right? So just go with your gut. And if you have any questions, just, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to talk to you and just help support you in any way that I can. But tonight's homework assignment is going to be to invest in yourself. And yeah, of course, you can invest yourself by signing up for Self-Care Queen and joining us on this 6-month experience, but you can invest in yourself in countless ways, right? So think about like what speaks to you in terms of self-care and what kind of investment do you want to make? Maybe you've been listening to me talk this week and you've been thinking, that you really want to get back to the gym. So maybe you're going to invest in a gym membership because that's going to help you feel better and that's going to help you feel well taken care of, and just like taking care of your body and working out, that's going to feel like a good investment in yourself. So go for it. Do that. Maybe you want to invest in some yoga classes. Maybe you've decided that like getting a facial or a haircut is going to feel really good to you. Like make an appointment, invest in yourself that way. Maybe you want to invest in a new journal and you want to make journaling every morning part of your new morning routine. Maybe you need new running sneakers. Invest in yourself that way. Hi, I see somebody's hopping on. Let me know who's there. I'm kind of closing out right now, but I am just giving the homework assignment for tonight, which is to invest in yourself. So do something that declares that you are ready to make a change in your life and that you think that you are worth investing in. So, just invest in something that's going to make you feel good. If maybe you've been noticing that it's your home that needs a little work, and you can invest in some new candles or some new throw pillows or just something that's going to make your home feel more sacred. Invest in yourself that way, right? So these are tons of different ways in which you can start to invest in yourself. It can be as big or as small as you want it to be, but I want you to do something this weekend to declare to yourself, to the universe, that you feel that you are worthy of investment, right? So make an investment in yourself and treat yourself and do something for yourself. So that's your homework assignment. And again, if you've been listening to me talk and you are interested in joining me for Self-Care Queen, like I am so ready to invest in you, and I am just like waiting to greet you inside the program. And I would really just love the opportunity to get to know you personally and just, have this be a two-way conversation, not just me talking. So, if you're watching and you're ready to join us, like do it. You are so worth the investment. You are ready. You are ready to create a change in your life. You deserve to be well taken care of. You need to put yourself first, and I'm going to help you do it. So if you're watching, sign up if you want to, and I'm just ready to greet you on the other side. And so that's it. That's the rest of our training. If you're watching and you have any questions, please type them in the comments below. Otherwise, I've really enjoyed doing this training. I kind of, I did the training as kind of because I do feel like I have so much to share about the topic of self-care for stress relief. And I initially made this training, kind of as a lead into my coaching program so that you could get a little bit of a taste of what it's like to work with me and what self-care for stress relief even means, right? So I wanted to just give you like a little glimpse into this whole thing that I've made my whole life mission right now. So I really hope that you have all found this training helpful. I hope that you found some action steps that you can take away, because I really didn't want this training to be just about me talking. I really want you to feel like you now have some idea of what you need to do next to start incorporating more self-care in your life and to start feeling better. So if you've been watching the trainings, I would love for you to type in the comments below what action steps you feel ready to take to start taking better care of yourself. And I really hope that you're ready to step into action. I hope that you've already stepped into action. But if you haven't, I hope that you're at least, starting to think about things differently and starting to see that self-care is not, this treat that you get. It's not a treat, it's a necessity. It's not selfish. It's actually one of the most selfless things that you can do, because when you feel good, when you feel well taken care of, when you feel healthy, you're better able to serve everybody around you. So when you are well taken care of, everybody around you benefits. And I really truly believe that. I really think that we're not serving anybody if we're just, putting all our energy into everybody around us and we're completely depleted, because it's going to get to the point where it's going to be too much and something's going to have to give. And then you're really not going to be able to show up for the people who need you. So you need to devote some attention to yourself. You need to be your number one priority, and you need to give yourself that permission to put yourself first, because you are worthy of this. You deserve it. You deserve to live a life that you love, and no one's going to give it to you. You have to create it for yourself, and it starts by taking good care of yourself and making time for yourself every day. Okay. And I really hope that you've started to see this for yourself, and that you're starting to, get the wheels turning on how you can start incorporating more of this into your life. I guess that's it. So just, if you have any other questions, please type them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to come back and answer them for you later. I would love to know what you're going to start doing to take better care of yourself. And if you need help or support, just feel free to message me. I'm happy to help you work through whatever you need help with. And if one last time, if you are feeling called to join us in the program Self-Care Queen, you have until Sunday to sign up, but sign up and join us. And we are just so excited to welcome you in. Okay. So thanks so much, ladies, for being a part of this training. I am hoping to do more live trainings like this, periodically. Maybe I could work it into maybe once a week I'll do a live training. That might be fun. I'm planning on doing some more challenges. I know a lot of you participated in the holiday challenge, and I thought that was a lot of fun and a really positive experience for us. So I have some more challenges that I'm thinking of. I'm contemplating doing a self-love challenge in our group in February. Let me know if that's something you might be interested in. Maybe a spring cleaning challenge. I just have these ideas that they're just ideas right now, but I'm thinking of doing these things because I really, I love this Facebook group, and I really want it to be a place where we're not, we're supporting each other. Yeah. But I also want to be getting you into action, because that's where the magic occurs, and that's where the change really happens. So, okay. So that's all. Let me know if you have any ideas of any other ways in which I can support you, and I'll be happy to work with you. And I will talk to you again soon. Have a beautiful weekend. Happy Friday. Good night. Bye.